Hello everyone, my name is Anup and I'm very excited to present to you this new video series on Flutter and this video series name is Flutter Zero to Professional. So basically what we're going to be doing in this video series basically is we're going to be exploring each and every aspect of Flutter and how you can create some of the really cool apps uh, cross-platform, basically both on Android and iOS, with just one set of code base. And we're going to be looking at steps from installations to all the way creating a few apps on our own, basically from scratch. All right. So you must be asking, what is Flutter? So Flutter is a mobile SDK, and it's a new way to build fast, reliable, beautiful cross-platform apps. Google has launched Flutter in beta 2 right now, and they basically describe it as Flutter is a Google's mobile UI framework that can be leveraged to create high quality native interfaces for both iOS and Android, and it's free and open source. The best part is that despite of being cross-platform, it has performance like native apps. So, what is the history behind cross platform frameworks? Well, I'm glad you asked. Cross-platform frameworks have been around for a long time now, and they were mainly based on JavaScript and web views. Now some of the frameworks were like PhoneGap, Apache Cordova, which is like the base, which became base for a lot many other cross-platform frameworks, and that included Ionic as well. And then there was Aptatium. Titanium actually. Um, yeah, I might not remember the exact the company who owned that, but actually Titanium was another framework. Um, but this is the general architecture that they followed. So you had your platform, which was like iOS or Android, and the platform had like views and canvas and events, and this all belonged on the JavaScript side. And then you have platform services, which are like location service, Bluetooth, audio service, sensors, cameras, etc. And your app would be written in JavaScript, and then when it needs to talk to, basically your app is going to be hosted on WebView and shown on WebView of the platform, and it can use anything related to canvas, like HTML canvas, and event, basically HTML DOM event tree and everything related to it. So it can do all that without any problem, but the real problem came when it needed to talk to the mobile services like location service or Bluetooth. At this moment, location tracking is sort of inbuilt with HTML5, but this was not the case before. So you would still write this, you would still have this a little piece of code called bridge, and this would be specific to the platform, and it would actually be packaged along with your app. And this bridge had responsibility to communicate between JavaScript and the platform. So there was like JavaScript, your app written in JavaScript would send some signals to bridge, and then bridge is gonna basically convert it into the native language and then forward it to the platform, and then receives the response back and pass it back in JavaScript understandable manner back to your app. So that was the general architecture that it had followed. Then came React Native, and React Native was good. I mean, it actually, a lot of people who were using PhoneGap or Ionic, even some of the native app developers moved into React Native world, and React Native was essentially the same thing. It was again, you write things on JavaScript, in order to run it and make it available across the board. But you would also write native components, and those native components would live behind this on the platform side. And like you guessed, native components would be written in native language. Like for iOS, it would be written either in Swift or in Objective C, and for Android, it would be written in Java or Kotlin. Um, but your app is still going to be in JavaScript. So but the difference is, basically earlier you had like Bridge talking just for the services that it had to use for the platform. In this case, there was a big a block of Bridge for anything that you need to talk to. Basically, you're going to talk to the platform, you're going to go through the Bridge, and that bridge basically converts your code into the native code, and native code back to the JavaScript code. This caused the main performance issue for, like, various different cases. I mean, some cases that you would see React Native works actually faster than native, but there are a lot of cases, like, where you're heavily dependent upon your platform and platform services, then it would actually slow down. And one of the main reasons was this conversion between JavaScript and the native was happening at the runtime. That added up a lot of cost, and basically if your app grew in complexity, then it became a more performance impact on your app because of the translation that is going on back and forth. All right, so we had to find a way. Well, then came Flutter. Now Flutter is just like React Native. Basically, it provides a reactive style views. So basically, if you type anything, you don't have to, like, hit enter key or wait for event to happen. It actually observes that. So that's the reactive style of programming, and actually Flutter actually follows that in a lot of ways. But it takes a different approach to avoid performance issues. And basically, there is no need for JavaScript bridging anymore. It has its own SDK that sits within your app and actually deals everything and anything that you need, basically, from that perspective. So and the other thing is, Flutter is written in Dart, so you write your program in Dart, not in JavaScript, which is a compiler language. Now Dart has ahead of time language compiler, which actually converts your Dart code into the native code for multiple platforms, and right out the bat actually starts to create a runner for iOS and for Android. So you would see that code basically being present there all the time. And when you're actually writing, you're only writing in Dart. Now, compiling your code into native improves app startup time and app performance. Now, startup time is important because you want to make sure you keep your startup time as minimum as possible, and this actually helps a lot with that. Now Flutter is a mobile SDK, and it comes with a framework that has widgets and tools. It gives you as a developer an easy and productive way to build and deploy mobile apps both for Android and iOS. Now at this point, these are the only two major platforms that are available on mobile side. There's Windows, but its presence is really small, and for that reason Flutter does not cover that side. So what we're going to be doing basically is we are going to be first, let's take a look how to install Flutter and configure your environment, basically to get ready for to create these Flutter apps. And then we're going to start from very basic apps, and then we'll explore each and every aspect of app development within Flutter. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.